Okay, so here's the old lens and the cleaned up knob for the trip odometer. And here is the new lens. What I'm going to do is mark out where I need to make the first hole very carefully. I'm going to put some blue painter's tape on top of that and mark it out. Okay, now to mark this out, what I've done is I've measured up from the slot here 1.5 inches on each side and down from the top 6 inches, and that gives me my mark right here. Now to make sure I'm fairly close, what I'm going to do is hold the other one on top of it that has been beat up pretty badly and take a look. My marks seem to be lining up pretty well, so that'll be my starting point. Okay, to figure out what kind of hole I need, I'm taking a look at the button piece, measuring it out here kind of carefully, and saying that it's less than 1/2 inch to start, and so maybe with a 1/2 inch or a 3/8 inch hole I can start to get the placement correct. It goes up to almost 3/4 inch at the top, but to at least get my placement started somewhere between 3/8 and a 1/2 inch hole. Then I think what I'm going to have to do is use the file and work from there. Okay, so I drilled a hole and I ended up using a 30 seconds bit, and that's just large enough to fit the end of this through that hole. So from here what I'm going to do is I'm going to file by hand to make this hole bigger and elongate it into an oval. It's going to take a little time, but when I'm done I should be able to slide this in and have it hit the trip odometer. We'll see. Alright, I've been filing for a few minutes. As you can see, the hole's getting bigger. So what I need to do is I need to then take the lens and go ahead and place it on the cluster, and then take my button and see how I'm doing as far as spacing goes. So I'm going in closer, and I can see now from looking at this that I need to be up a little bit more at the top in order to get this to slide in correctly. But as I grind off a little bit with the file, each time I'll go ahead and test fit it until I've got a better fit. Okay, it's been about 15 minutes, 20 minutes of careful filing, and I'm mighty close. As I put this in, I'm almost flush here at the bottom. I got a little more work to do up at the top. And again, what I've been doing is very carefully lining this up as I enlarge the hole on here, dropping it in, and then checking to make sure it's lining up with the trip odometer. So a few more iterations and hopefully I'll have a fit, and then I've got to figure out how to glue that in there. Okay, I did the final test fitting and put the whole thing together. I just glued it in, and I used Tester's model cement. I actually tried a couple different types of glue. I tried some crazy glue on the old lens and some Gorilla Crazy glue, and both of them made kind of a mess. The Tester's model cement dried clear and hard without any problems, so that's what I went with. So, looking at this, it took a couple of hours, but you can actually cut out the old button from an instrument lens and put it into a new lens if you're careful and you take your time. So this is another Mustang part that's not reproduced right now. However, it can be repaired and it can work.